Alrighty, happy, Wednesday, August 19th. We are ready for our work. It's noon, it's lunchtime. We have our 2-movement upper body, lower body day. We've done these things before, and there's going to be 4 different circuits. We're going to have our warm-up workout circuit, and then we're going to have the 3 main circuits to follow, but they're all going to have similar numbers on the 2-movement exercises. When you're ready, I know you're ready to get started. Squat calves will be the only 2-movement exercise that is all legs. Squat, we've done that before. Don't be in a hurry, come out of it and get up on your tippy toes. Calves. It's going to sound like the other day. 30 total movements or 15 revolutions. Ready, set, go. Squat. And again, I know it feels like we just started our workout. Calves. In some ways we did. We're going to do warm-up squat calves. We're going to hopefully add some weight with all of our movement exercises coming up real soon. You can play with your feet width as you do your squat and calves, but remember 2 movement exercises. The movements shouldn't affect each other. So you don't go flying out of it, right? I want to slow it down on your squat and then get up on those tippy toes. So make sure you slow the movement down. We did 2 movement exercises the last workout, but they were all upper body combos, pulling and pushing. 30 total reps. We're going to change the numbers going down. We're going to maybe add the weight. Hopefully that'll get heavier. 30 total movements, 15 revolutions. When you're done, 20 standing scissors. We won't do them again today. Big, slow. You're lengthening those muscles that you may or may not have been sitting on all morning while you worked, or while you enjoyed your coffee and relaxed, or maybe you've already lunged and ran around the house a couple times. Hamstrings, glutes, lower back, middle back, upper back. You've got joint mobility. You've got anterior muscle activation, posterior muscle flexibility. 20 total movements is 10 each side. We won't do it again. We've done it before. After your 20 total movements are done, I would love it if you started adding weight, but you don't have to. Squat, calves, we're doing it again. 24 total movements or 12 revolutions. So the reps are going to go down. 30 total or 15 revolutions was round 1. 24 total or 12 revolutions around 2. You should know the trend here real soon. Again, I don't want super narrow or super wide, but you can play with your feet and leg width on your squat and your calves. Of course, here's what the wide squat would look like. Squat, and then you get up on your calves, so it kind of feels kind of funny. So don't change your legs too much. And remember, I want you to separate the motion, squat, calves. And I always apologize when I do the workouts in Montana. I immediately get a little more huffy-puffy. We're 4,000 feet up in the air, as opposed to being in Redmond. I think it's like 300. After your 24 total movements, 20 standing runners. Runners is elbows to knees, not knees to nose. And no, we're not doing 10 like usual. We're doing 20. Elbows to knees. Mobility. Anterior activation. Yeah, there's still posterior flexibility, but it's more of a rhythm. Loosen the body up. Hips, spine. Again, you got little shoulders and arms and neck. You've got your ankles and knees and hips. Again, when I talk about joints, I'm referring to mobile joints. When I talk about muscles, I'm talking about flexibility and activation. 20 standing runners. When you get done, we're not in a hurry, but we do have 4 circuits today. You're on your 18 squat calves. So we're actually going to do the same numbers that we did on our 2 movement days earlier, except for the last circuit will be kind of an oddball, and we'll have the fitness component on that last circuit. 18 total movements, 9 revolutions on the squat calves. I would love it if you added some weight. It is okay if you don't. Number 18 reps is 9 squats and 9 calves. And of course, significantly less than round 1. When that is done, you're on your 20 Jack LaLannes. Lengthen and get tall. Get down and get up. 20 total reps, 10 each side. It's kind of like your standing scissors when you're talking about flexibility, but it's not like your standing scissors when you're referring to anterior activation. It's a lot more posterior flexibility than it is anterior activation. Hamstrings, glutes, lower back, middle back, upper back. You've got rotation of spine. Breathe. It is a dynamic flexibility exercise. I do want you thinking stretching. I don't want you thinking flopping. We're not flopping over and standing up. Stretching and getting tall. 20 total movements. And if you're on track with your math, we're going to do 100 total movements this circuit to go with our squat calves. We'll have that rhythm for most of the day. Whether you go heavier or not, you're on your 12 squat calves, and that is less, so maybe it's heavier, and then you're going to lay on the ground for your 20 scissors, the ground version of your scissors. Squat, calves. Squat, calves. Separate the motion on your squat and calves. Squat, calves. Give me the hips, the booty, the posture, the slow, the breathing, the squatting. Squat, calves. 12 total movements, 6 revolutions. Then you're going to lay down for your 20 sit-up scissors. Earlier was your standing scissors. Legs straight, arms straight, torque, leverage. Between Monday and today, you'll have done minimal abs this week. We had abs core as a possible start. We had our hips and legs. Today we have this movement and some abs here. We're going to have our obliques and our exertion to finish off the day. So again, the 2 workouts, minimal abs. After those 20 scissors, remember it's okay if you're not done yet. Hello there, Cameron, I see you snuck in on there. After your 20 scissors, you're going to be on your last set of squat calves, 6 total reps, 3 revolutions, and then you're going to be on your swimmers, either laying on your stomach or on your hands and knees. 6 total reps or 3 revolutions. Squat, calves. I really want that squat. I really want that squat. I really want that squat. Separate it into the calves. Not magical by any means. Hopefully feelable. That's the ultimate idea. After your 6 total squat calves, we're on our 20 swimmers. Cameron, I think you joined up in the last couple rounds. This is a warm-up workout circuit, so I definitely added the components of warming up, but we're also working out. We've got our 20 swimmers, either on your hands and knees or laying on your stomach. We did the standing scissors, standing runners, Jack LaLannes, scissors laying down, and swimmers can be on your hands and knees or on your stomach. End of the warm-up workout circuit. Breathe and focus. Breathe and focus. Now, I'm normally not worried when I do the 4 circuits, because again, if you're at 12-ish minutes per circuit, well, there's 48 minutes. So we do kind of run out of time. I don't want 10-minute circuits, because that'd be a little too short. I want you to slow down your lifting a little bit. So the numbers are going to be very similar to Monday and today. You've got your 30 total movements or 15 revolutions. We're going to do our stiff-legged deadlift rows next. and we're going to combo with our right obliques. Our right obliques are always 20, and today is the day that you can do any one that you like. So here's your next circuit. Stiff-legged deadlift, not technically straight-legged deadlift, row. You can count each movement and go to 30, like earlier, down by 6, or you can count the revolution, 15, and go down by 3. Same rhythm for the first 3 circuits. A little slower, a little heavier, take your time. Stiff-legged deadlift is your dynamic lengthening of your hamstrings and glutes. I don't want you to think stretching. It's not your Jack LaLanne's. And of course, then you have your good back exercise as you get low, stay low, and row. Not meant to be an arm exercise. And of course, really good engagement and activation of those hammies, glutes, and your good lower back muscles on your stiff-legged deadlift row. Again, round 1 and 2 are going to be kind of long, then it goes a little quicker. What I don't want you to do is go faster. That is not my intent. 30 total movements, or again, you can count 15 revolutions. And then for me, I'm going to do standing oblique on round 1 and round 5. I'm going to go on the ground on 2, 3, and 4. So if you want to follow me, weight is in your left hand as you do your right oblique 20 reps when you get done with your 30 stiff-legged deadlift rows. And remember, you can count it as 30 total movements or 15 revolutions. 20 is the number on your right obliques. You can do any of them that you want. If you're going to follow me, I'm going to do standing obliques on rounds 1 and 5. I'm going to do double lateral leg lifts round 2, hip dips round 3, side crunches round 4. So I'm going to change them a little bit. But if you want to do double lateral leg lifts the whole time, feel free. The only downside is you're going to get on and off the ground several times. And what you do on the right, you're going to eventually need to do on the left. I don't want to deter you, but I want you to think about the rhythm of the day. You know me, I like to talk a lot so you guys stay on point mentally and physically. It's kind of the way I can not look at all the screens and you guys can listen and do. If you ever need to ask a question, please do. Round 2 is 24 total stiff-legged deadlift rows, so it's a little bit less. And then I'm going to go on the ground for right side up double lateral leg lifts. 20 is the number on the obliques. So the first 3 circuits had the exact same numbers. We just changed the exercise. Circuit 1 was squat calves with our movements. Circuit 2 is stiff-legged rows with our right obliques. Circuit 3 will be squat presses with our left obliques. And circuit 4 will be lunge curls, and we're going to have fitness with our agility, so it'll be a little bit different. Hips, 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 hips. Lengthen those hamstrings and glutes. Focus on that row. Stand tall and breathe. Hamstrings, glutes, good lower back, lots of good middle back on your stiff-legged deadlift row. Each movement doesn't affect the other. Stiff-legged deadlift row, a 2-movement exercise. 24 total movements or 12 revolutions. If you are done, awesome. Maybe slow it down a touch. If you're right with me or a hair behind, again, you're not behind. If you're a little behind me, then awesome. Keep your pace. Right side up, double lateral leg lifts is my second round, but you can stay off the ground the whole time if you want to. You've got right obliques standing, the weight is in your left hand. You've got right side up, double lateral leg lifts. Your legs are being pulled up by your right obliques. Next round, we're going to do hip dips. That is the only pushing right oblique. We'll have side crunches. If you're at the gym, you have cable rotations. You've got hyperextension machines. You've got rotational ball throws. Although it is a push or pulling motion with the oblique, it's a pushing exercise with the hands and arms. So people will get confused on the motion versus the exercise. No rush. When you're there, round 3 is 18 total stiff-legged deadlift rows, 9 revolutions, and then I'm going to do right side down hip dips, but you can do any oblique you want. Hips, 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 hips. There is all motion coming from those hips. You start with those hips, you keep those hips moving. Technically your spine isn't moving either. Technically your spine is in one spot the whole time. Yeah, maybe your lower spine, your L's, there is definitely some movement in those. Hips move the most. Glutes should always turn on when your hips are moving. Hamstrings, glutes, lower back, and then a nice good middle back exercise to combo. Standing tall with those muscles you just contracted. Lengthened and contracted. So round 3, I'm not saying you have to be there, 18 total movements or 9 revolutions. And then I'm going to do right side down hip dips. Feel free to do any right oblique you want. Hip dips, it's the only pushing motion. Try to take it out of your elbows and your shoulders and your feet, your legs. Put it in the right side of your body as it pushes you up. You do have to think about it. 20 is the number on your obliques. 5 sets of them is only 100 right obliques. You have done more before. Now remember, the standing obliques would be one of the shortest exercises because you didn't get on and off the ground. You've got decent motion, simple. Double lateral leg lifts would probably be the hardest one, plus you're getting on and off the ground, so that will take a little longer. Hip dips motion is a shorter motion, but again, a hard motion, and you got to get on and off the ground. Good afternoon. Happy Wednesday. Round 4, when you are there, 12 total stiff-legged deadlift rows, 6 revolutions if you want to count it like that. So we have been going down and down and down. If I had more weights for you, you would increase the load as you can. The strength version, which is a lot of our workouts, I definitely would like the weights or the load, and that is done by physical weight or time under tension. The fitness version, which we have touched on quite a bit as well, but the fitness version is adjusting your load, maintaining your motion, hitting your reps, but decreasing, getting rid of your rest. We've actually had a couple of those lately. After your 12 total movements or 6 revolutions, I'm going to lay on my back, knees to my left for my right side crunch. 20. Again, you don't have to. The major components of the side crunch is mobility of hips and spine, your joints being able to move, your flexibility of all of those muscles around your hips and spine, and then you add the actual exercise of the side crunch. I don't want to say they're the best, but they're a great gauge for your mobility and your flexibility. But I'm not going to say they're the best oblique exercise. Most people at the gym choose the hyperextension machine, kind of like the standing, but you're on the machine. Some people like the rotational ones with a cable where you rotate. But since we haven't been doing those, most people probably have done standing obliques or double lateral leg lifts. Those are more commonly used ones. When you are there, you've got your 6 total movements on your stiff-legged deadlift row, and then you're on your standing oblique for the last time if you're joining me, and then you go right to the next circuit. 6 total movements or 3 revolutions on your stiff-legged deadlift row. Remember, if you are quote-unquote a little behind, cool, keep doing your thing. Don't worry about my pace. I will make sure you get through your workout. Round 5 is 6 total movements or 3 revolutions. and then you're going to have your last right oblique. I'm doing the standing obliques on round 1 and 5 for the rhythm of the day, and also to add some change, if you will. Left hand, right oblique, tick, tock, lengthen, contract. Left hand is your right obliques, 20 reps. I'm not saying you should be there by any means. You're going to have the end of circuit happening after you get done to that 5th set of your right obliques. Pace is perfect. Don't go any faster. We're going to go into our squat presses next and our left obliques. Again, the same dang rhythm one more time. The 4th circuit will have a little different rhythm, so we finish off a little huffy puffy. When you are there, and it's okay if you're not, 30 total movements, 15 revolutions. We did squat calves earlier. You're now on squat press. Regular-ish squat like earlier. You can play with the width of your feet. I wouldn't go super narrow and I wouldn't go super wide. And I hope we'll add weight as the reps go down. 30 total reps, 15 revolutions on your squat press. When you get there, and of course most of you are probably on it somewhere, whether you're just starting or you're right with me, we're going to slow things down. Make sure the weights are heavy. 30 total movements, 15 revolutions on your squat press, and then we're going to have our left obliques happening. So squat calves, a great warm-up circuit that you could also crank up some load if you could. The stiff-legged row is the opposite. That was a pull-pull. This is a push-push on the squat press. Both of them are lower body, upper body combos. Blah, 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 blah. After your 30 total squat presses, again, you shouldn't be there, but maybe you're close. Right hand is your left obliques. We're on to our left oblique circuit. Tick, tock, tick, tock. 4 circuit workouts like this, 2 exercise combos. It feels like you get so much more work done because of the constant change. Your Friday noon workout, that was also the Monday morning workout, the 40 exercises in 40 minutes. That was actually probably one of the most you can do, but I also controlled the ultimate timing and pace. Again, there's no rush. Hanging out, I want you strength focused right now. I want you movement focused. I don't want you focusing on trying to keep up with this circuit. A lot of people have to do these things on YouTube, which has been awesome. They push pause a lot. The most workouts that people do not live take people 60 plus minutes because they push pause. They've got their weight adjustments coming along. You guys are kind of forced by the ultimate timing of this. Round 2, when you get there, 24 total squat presses. Maybe you go heavier, maybe you don't. Maybe you're holding 2 weights like dumbbells or kettlebells. Maybe you're holding 1 weight like a dumbbell, kettlebell, barbell, ball, baby, right? We've got baby options on here, Laura. Hips, booty, eyes, thighs on that squat, right? You're thinking posture, you're thinking legs, you're thinking motion, and then you get tall and you've got your shoulder press. I personally don't like thrusters. That is the momentum version of a squat press. You create power with a thruster. It's not that I think they're bad for you. I just think there's so many other things you can do versus thrusters, personally. Kettlebell swings, military presses, squat presses, slowing it down, just my personal opinion. 24 total movements or 12 revolutions is round 2. I'm going to loiter a little bit. I don't want to feel like you're falling behind. That is not the idea. Round 2 for me, I'm laying down. Left side is up on my double lateral leg lifts. You can do any of the obliques, but I would repeat what you did on the right side. 24 total squat presses, 20 left obliques. Round 2 for me is the double lateral leg lifts. Left obliques are pulling my legs up. Breathe and focus. Breathe and focus. Take your time. 20 left obliques. So again, circuit 1, we have the 100 total movements. Circuit 2 is the 100 right obliques. Circuit 3 is the 100 left obliques. I'm sure you know where we're going to go in the 4th circuit, but I do want to change the numbers when we get to the combos, you'll see. Squat calves are done. Stiff-legged rows are done. Squat presses are happening. Lunge curls are still to come. It's a big workout. When you're there, it's okay if you're not. And I'd almost rather be about 30 seconds ahead of you. You've got your 18 total squat presses, hips, booty, eyes, thighs on that squat. That's the one I want you to focus on. And of course, standing tall on your shoulder press. Hips, booty, eyes, thighs. The movements don't affect each other. You're not creating momentum. You're making sure the squat happens and you're making sure the shoulder press happens. 2 movement exercises are geared towards doing a lot of muscles in a short amount of time. And they're also good for not having a lot of weights. And I've always tried to show you guys how much we can do with literally just a pair of dumbbells. Yeah, I currently have 30s. I don't want to show you a whole bunch of things with a whole bunch of different weights because most people don't have all that stuff. But like I've been saying, if you think you're going to be home for a little while longer, take a peek at what Amazon has. Get a pair of dumbbells, 15s or 20s. Get a kettlebell, 25, 30, 35, 40 pound kettlebell. And if you want me to buy it back from you when you come back to the gym, let's talk about that. Round 3, you have the 18 total squat presses. And then for me, I am left side down on my hip dips, 20. And remember, if you're still doing the 18 squat presses, awesome. If you're finding that you're waiting for me a lot, slow your movements down a touch, just a touch. Left side down, hip dips, if you're doing them, is the only pushing oblique exercise. All oblique exercises have a form or component of mobility of hips and spine. This one has less flexibility, definitely more activation. The hip dips, the double lateral dips, again, a hard one with activation, but you can have resistance because of inflexibility. All of your obliques are 20. You're cruising right along. When you do get there, you'll be on set 4 of your squat presses. That'll be your 12 total squat presses. Again, I'm going to lay down on my side crunches when I get there. No rush. Round 4, 12 squat presses or 6 revolutions. Hips, 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 hips. Good posture, good posture. You're not in a hurry. Your glutes should always turn on when you hips move. So glutes, butt, core, right? The postures, you're always looking out in front of you. You're not looking down, you're not looking up. And your legs are supposed to work. And then we can add some shoulders. 2 movement exercises. There should always be a slower component, and there's always a smoother but potentially burning component. 12 squat presses, 6 total revolutions, no rush. When you're done, you're going to be laying on, if you're joining me, you're laying on the ground for your side crunches. Remember, you could be doing any obliques you wanted. Round 4 for me is laying on my back, knees to my right for the left side crunch. Like I said earlier, it's not the best oblique exercise. It's a great way to work on mobility of hips and spine. You'll even see people doing this on their warm-ups, a supported windshield wiper per se. You've got mobility of joints, flexibility of those muscles around those joints, and then the nice good activation. The legs shouldn't be bouncing, right? If I did this, my leg's bouncing, you would have that resistance. 20 left side crunches. It's a Wednesday, it's a work day. Reminder, I will be here tomorrow at noon. Danny will do Friday at noon. Lori and Stella, I heard you guys have a lunch and learn tomorrow, whether that changes your mind or not. So again, I'm here tomorrow at noon, Thursday noon. Danny has my Friday at noon. That workout will be recorded, sent out, and also done on Monday morning. Anyhow, you know you can get a hold of me. Last round when in there, 6 total squat presses, 3 revolutions. When you get there, you'll have the last left oblique. We've been on this rhythm the whole workout. We're going to change the rhythm a little bit so you don't fall asleep. And that's not literally, that's your brain's like, okay, we've done this. The rhythm is staying. We're going to turn it up a tiny bit. When you are there, your right hand is your left oblique for your last standing oblique. I'll be talking about the next circuit anyway, so you have plenty of time to quote-unquote get caught up. 100 on each side obliques. Mobility of hips and spine. Flexibility of muscles around your hips and spine. Activation of what you're trying to use, your obliques. A lot of factors. And we formally haven't done many abs this week with intention. So I'm going to start talking about the next circuit. It doesn't mean you should be there. The next circuit will be our lunge curls. The rhythm is going to change a tiny bit. It's always going to be 10 total steps. Always. That's 5 each leg. That is super nice. But it's always the lunge and then you always curl. Don't go yet. It's always 10. It's always 5 each leg. You always curl. We've done this before. Your agility or plyometrics, they're going to be 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. Those numbers came from our Monday noon workout where I did 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, but we did legs, formal concentric legs. You're going to have your agility with your high knees, your butt kicks, your jumping jacks, right? You can do the running revolutions or walking reps. You know I'm going to be here, right? You're going to have either jump squats or split jumps. And if you really, really, really need to, I'd rather you lay down and do scissors or runners or swimmers and do some of those abs core. Okay? I know you're ready to work. It's your last circuit. Always 10 total lunge curls. Any lunge, but always curl. Ready, set, go. Lunge, curl. You're not curling while you lunge, and then curl. You can do any stationary lunge, stationary forward, stationary backwards. I mean, you could do lateral lunges if you want to. The rhythm would be harder. Walking forward, walking backwards. But when you lunge, you curl. Always 10 total steps, 5 each leg, but that means it's always 10 bicep curls too. Take your time, we've done it before. When you get to your 50, if you need to lay down and do scissors, runners, swimmers, cool. If not, it's agility, running revolutions, or walking reps. High knees, butt kicks, jumping jacks, jump squats, split jumps. Ready, set, go. 1, 2, 3. There is a revolution, right? High knees running, butt kicks running. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, I'm counting the revolutions because running is quicker. Running builds momentum. Walking, 1, 2, 3, right? You can hear the exertion, right? There's a little more exertion. So they're just as hard. Walking, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? You gotta think about it more. There's a little more activation. You got your jumping jacks. 1, 2, 3, right? Walking jacks, 1, 2, right? Similar, right? You hear that rhythm, hear that power. Again, jump squats, split jumps are good too. They're gonna affect your legs a little bit more. Laying down, doing scissors, runners, swimmers. Those are quicker abs per se. I don't want you to do them quicker, but you're gonna do 50 scissors quicker than you do 50 sit-ups, correct? You do 50 runners quicker than you do 50 reverse crunches. So round 1 was your 10 total lunge curls, always 10 lunge curls. We're gonna go down 50, 40, 30, 20, 10 on our agility and or abs. I'm starting round 2. If you've already started round 2, awesome. Lunge, curl. Slow those lunges down. I didn't say low, there's low and slow. Slow those lunges down. There's your concentric motion, but there's that isometric hold. So you have a couple components. Slow, load, curl. Always 10 total steps, 5 each leg. It'll always equal 10 bicep curls, slow and load. When you get done, you're on 40. High knees, butt kicks, jumping jacks, jump squats, split jumps. If you must, scissors, runners, swimmers. Ready, set, go. So definitely a pace circuit. If you want to rock and roll and get ahead of the game, don't lift fast. However, you can get after this sucker. Your agility is going to be 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. Your lunge curls are always 10. If you're running, I want revolutions. If you're walking, I want reps. Give or take. I was talking more than I was counting. When you're done, oh gosh, you guys are doing so good. I'm not saying you should be there, but when you're ready, round 3, always 10 lunge curls, slow, load, and then you're 30 on your agility or exertion. Take your time. Here we go, round 3. Lunge, curl, slow, load, curl, slow, load, curl, breathe, focus. Walking forward, walking reverse. You got to have at least 2 steps, right? At least. I don't want you lunging in a circle. Stationary lunges, way more common the last 22 weeks with you guys online. That's just due to space. But I don't want you to be deterred by walking forward and walking backwards. If you can walk in a straight line, and you have at least 2 steps to take. 30 reps when you get there. Again, if you really want scissors, runners, swimmers, hop on the ground if you want to. Ready, go. Feel like going down a little bit? Pace increases, right? Your lunge, curl, rest decreases as that agility number decreases. When you're ready, round 4 is your 10 lunge curls and your 20 agilities and or abs. Remember, the lunges and the curls are slow, heavy, durational, and that's why I didn't do the 30 down by 6. That would have been very difficult. Also very sleepy. You'd have done those numbers 4 times today. Too many. So a little stimulus, a little excitement when you only have to do the 10 lunge curls versus so much more. And the agility comes in, moving your body, working your body. We dynamically move to start, right oblique, left oblique, and now some exertion. 20 reps. Again, jump squats and split jumps are there. They might affect your lunges a little bit more because of the plyometric exercise. High knees, butt kicks, jumping jacks. Again, more agility. You've got your scissors, runners, swimmers, if you really wanted to lay on the ground and get some work done. When you are done with the 20, you're on your last round. 10 lunge curls, 10 on your agility or plyometric or work. And then if you have time, please go stretch. If you don't have time, walk or cardio, do something for a couple minutes. So a hair shorter today. We've actually had several workouts go a hair longer lately. I do try to time it to be 45-ish minutes. Sometimes it goes a little bit longer. So 4 circuits today. A smidge shorter on the stuff. 10, 12-minute circuits, give or take, plus or minus. 10 lunge curls, and then 10 on your agilities. If you have 3 to 5 minutes, stretch, or cardio, or go make yourself a smoothie. Don't sit down and go back to work. Okay, not yet. Give yourself a couple minutes. 10 is the number. Remember, if I was a little bit ahead of you going into the circuit, my intent was that I didn't keep getting ahead of you. My intent was that you were able to stay within earshot. Spend time. If you have a couple minutes to stretch and breathe and let that heart rate settle, please do. Pat yourself on the back. Little lunchtime workout. A little bit shorter, tiny bit shorter than the last couple workouts. Maybe a touch of intensity. The 4 different lower body 2 movement circuits. Lower body, upper body. You have the obliques, the warm-up movement mechanics, and the exertion to finish off. And take your time. If you have time to calm down a little bit, stretch out a little bit, those spreadsheets will still be there, I promise you. I wish they went away on their own. I wish they got completed on their own. I know they don't. Nice, long stretching. I didn't formally go through this with you, knowing that you could log off as you wish. But as you can see, I did a nice long neck shoulder stretch. Got a nice long lat oblique stretch. Nice long chest, anterior shoulders. Heart rate is settling. Again, pat yourself on the back. This is workout number 65. If you need me to send you 64, please let me know. Tomorrow, Thursday at noon, I'm going to video 66. Danny will do the Friday at noon. Workout 65. This one happens Friday morning. And tomorrow noon workout will happen on Monday morning, which doesn't really affect anybody here. Maybe Laura on a morning workout.